Right, I've got a couple more teams we can ask about here. So one team I want to ask about is definitely Gio, Guild Esports that you just referenced earlier, because they're obviously another team. Actually, funny enough, in Europe, they were sort of in the exit position. They were always in the mix. Like, when they would get to the playoffs, you were like, maybe they could do it, and then they just wouldn't do it at the end, and they would just come like fourth or something, and you'd be like, next time. Right, obviously, this time they've made it, and they're another team where we had Barbar on a past episode, Paper Thin, and it was implied from listening to other players who came on that this was a team that people thought was good, like scrim practice and stuff, and they were like a quality team. People again thought like maybe they can be in this position. How good are they actually going to be, do you think, Gio? Do you think like obviously they've got a couple of players that have some legit experience? Like, can this be actually like a sort of a surprise team, an outside team that could do something?
I don't think Guild will make it out of groups.
Okay.
Guild,
they are in a hard group, to be fair. They are in a very stacked group.
They are in a stacked group.
Yes.
And I think the other 3 teams in that group are too good.
Right.
Guild, I'm really happy that they finally qualified for an event. I think they've sort of at that point where you almost want to say like they deserve it. You know, they've been putting up like results that just haven't quite been good enough for a long time, but they've been improving. They've made roster changes over. They actually only made roster changes at the beginning of this year. They stuck and committed to their previous roster for quite a long time before deciding to change. Bringing in Coldamenta was, pretty big. I'm pretty sure he's IGLing them, and obviously he was previously on G2, and his sort of experience has been really valuable, I think, to the team. A lot of the issues that I have with Guild are that so really if you're kind of like looking at which players to look for in this team, I would say that Leo and Trex. Leo is a fantastic player, as is Trex, but my concern about them, and specifically looking at Trex, is that while he is a really, really good player, I don't think he's consistent enough to perform on an international stage where he needs to be. And I think that they are a team who will probably come away from this having learned a lot, and I think it'll be really valuable. And you get your teams like that, right? Who come in, they have their experience, their first, international LAN experience. They go away, they continue to improve. You might see them like 2 LANs in the future, and they'll do better, right? And I just think that's where Guild are at in their life cycle. I would be amazed if they made it out of groups, and I think that would be an insane story, but I really, really don't see it happening.
Yeah, what they have going for them, and I really like you pointed out, Coldamenta, his veteran experience as an IGL. Leo, this is an initiator meta, at least in my opinion right now. It feels like initiators have a lot of impact on the game, particularly with Fade, and, Leo can be really, really good on Sova or Fade, arguably one of the best Sovas. He's one of the best Sovas in the world with Saucy and very few others that I would even consider in that category. So, I mean, I think they have that going for them in terms of there is some precedence. I think the real problem is the group they're in. I mean, think about the battle-tested teams that are in that fucking group. Optic, Loud, and Crew. Are you shitting me? That's insane. You've got teams that have made top 3s of major events, teams that have won major events. I mean, that sucks for your first event to have to go into that. That's tough, man. And if they make it out, I'm going to be so fucking impressed. I really hope they do, just in that sense, like to really kind of, show that they're there to play, and that, even against these other great teams, they're ready. So if they can get out of groups, I will say this, if they get out of groups, I think they're poised for a deep run. I think they're a team that you got to be scared of if they get out of that group.
Yeah. I mean, it is like you have the 2 finalists from the last event, and then Crew, who are the only team in the whole world who have been to all 5 LAN events.
Yep.
So, good luck.
Yeah. And I never know what to expect out of Crew. Sometimes I think they're going to be terrible, and then they shock me, and then other times I think they're going to be good, and they're not. I have no idea what to expect from them.
It seems like upset fodder. Yeah, they can just spoil the tournament for one team every time. Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.